welcome to the bread kitchen. I thought I'd have a bit of fun this week and make a bread turtle. Now I'll start by making a very simple dough. I've got 600 grams of white flour, 360 grams of lukewarm water, 2 teaspoons of yeast and 2 teaspoons of salt. Now you don't have to use this particular dough. You can use any dough you like, a wholemeal dough or an enriched dough. But the key thing is you want about 1 kilogram of dough. I'll pop the yeast in the water, give it a good mix and then leave it for 10 minutes for the yeast to get going. Put the flour and the salt in a large bowl and mix well. Make a well in the centre and add in the activated yeast and mix well to form a nice dough. So what I've got now is a lovely soft, just very slightly sticky dough. Now I'll pop it on this nice clean surface and knead well for about 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes of good kneading, what I've got here is a lovely silky and very springy ball of dough. I'll just pop this in a bowl, lightly greased bowl, cover and leave in a warm place until the dough is about doubled in size. Well, you can see that my dough's risen really well, so I'll just peel off this plastic. Then I'll turn the dough out, knock it back to get rid of any air bubbles, and then knead the dough for just 2 or 3 minutes. Then pop it back in the lightly greased bowl, cover and leave it to double in size again. Well, it's risen nicely again, so I'll just turn it out, knock it back to get these air bubbles out, and then form it into a nice ball. Right, I now need to cut off 4 little pieces of dough for the turtle's legs. They don't have to be particularly big. See, that should be enough. So I'll cut off 4 pieces like that. I need a slightly bigger bit for his head and neck, and I need a little bit for his tail. Okay, so I've got 4 legs, a neck and head and a tail. Let's just put these to one side and I'll start with the body. Now I'll make this into a nice ball by stretching and folding the dough from the sides into the middle. Keep turning and folding. And what we're doing is we're stretching the gluten underneath so it'll be nice and smooth and rise evenly. And turn it over so you've got a nice smooth ball. Then pop this in the middle of a lightly greased baking tray and just kind of plump the dough up. Alright, that looks quite nice. Now take the piece of dough for the head, stretch it out into a rectangle and roll it along its long side into a sausage. Fold it in half, press it out into a rectangle again, smaller one this time, and roll it into a sausage. Then we can just pop this at the front of the turtle. Doesn't have to really touch the body of the turtle because this will rise up and it'll all become one anyway. Now take 2 little blobs of dough, just very small blobs from the tail section, and roll them into balls. Then pop them at the front of the turtle because these are going to be his eyes. Now take the rest of the tail, roll it into a little ball, then into a little sausage, and we'll just pop it at the back. Then finally take the legs, roll them into a nice smooth ball, roll them out a little, and pop into place. So there's my finished creature. Now I'm going to pop him into a big plastic bag, and then I'll leave him to prove for about half an hour. So here's my little friend, he's looking quite good. I'm now going to brush him with a glaze of ½ teaspoon of salt in 2 tablespoons of water. And finally I'm going to make his turtle pattern by putting some slashes into the dough. Right, Right, we're ready to bake, so I'm going to pop him now in the oven at 190 fan oven, 220 normal oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. And here's my lovely bread turtle. I think I'll call him Dave. You've got to admit, he is rather cute. Making bread animals and bread shapes is a great way to get kids interested in baking, and baking bread in particular. I hope you have fun making your bread turtle, and why not post a picture of one onto my Facebook page. Thanks for watching, and do join me next time in the Bread Kitchen.